I've never been more anxious about a fantasy football game before.
I almost want to let you watch the end.
No. It's probably better that I don't, because if I end up if this guy comes back at the last 2 minutes to win this game, I will not be in the mood I need to be while recording this.
Okay. Well,
We're in.
So everyone, welcome to another episode of the Retic Lounge. I'm Nathan Katz. This is Lucas Bagnara with us. As always, we have a not so fun one today, but before we get into that, we just want to thank all of our Patreon supporters. You guys mean the world to us. You guys are just an amazing community behind the scenes in our Discord, through our Zoom meetings, and just all the interaction we get there. You guys keep us going. So thank you so much. Remember to join US Arc Florida. Lucas, anything else that I'm missing?
No, and I mean, if you guys are listening for the first time, because this is obviously a little bit of a clickbaity thumbnail, and you guys are listening for the first time, if you guys like the episode or if you check out the rest of our page, just hit that subscribe button. We're only 30 away from 1,000 subscribers, and if you guys like what you're hearing, hit the notification bell.
Like, comment, subscribe. That really helps the algorithm for us.
Yeah.
Gets our episodes spread out to more people. So the more you can do that for us, the more people get to see this content. So please.
Let me be like the first to say something before we jump in. Episode 72, the thumbnail title is Snake Abuse Amnesia. And for those of you that aren't aware of what we're going to be talking about today, we are going to be bringing back up Samson Pruitt and Slither Exotics / Slither Incorporated, and the nasty evidence of abuse that we exposed, 5-6 months ago. And first and foremost, what I think is the most important thing that I just want to get very clear right off the bat, this was Nathan's idea. And what I mean by that is,
please elaborate.
Yeah, I'm not throwing him under the table. Nathan came up to me a couple weeks ago and was like, "Hey, I think we need to bring back up the whole Slither thing." When there was a post that was made about him. I mean, Nathan probably was sent pictures. I was sent pictures, and we saw that Samson Pruitt posted a picture of a female on eggs. And I don't know if maybe that was the first picture he's posted in a while of that, but what took us both aback was that there were so many reactions and likes and support of that image that we figured, Nathan figured, hey, he's like, hey, it's been 5-6 months. Let's kind of bring this back up. And I supported that idea 100%, because one thing that I do know about Samson, because of my previous relationship with him that I've been open about, is that he always targets young individuals, young people who are new in the industry, and he gets them onto his bandwagon, and he explains his side of everything. And we're hoping that by relighting and rekindling this fire, that we're just going to get people's eyes on this for the first time. And I hate to say that this is going to be an ongoing 6-month segment, but the more information that I keep learning about his supporters and people that do support him in the closet or out publicly, and then more newcomers I see liking his stuff, it might be something that we do bring up, but that's the motivation behind this. Not a single thought, a rational thought, more, because I know a lot of you are wondering what the motive is behind this. And
speaking of motives, you want to clear up some misconceptions about why we're recording this? Or who influenced it? I mean,
you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but there's misconceptions out there that
Rodney's influencing or tapping in.
This is driven by Rodney.
Yeah,
this is
bullshit.
Purely my idea. This has absolutely nothing to do with Rodney.
Nathan fucking hates Rodney.
Lucas will be the first one to tell you how much I dislike Rodney. I think he could be a valuable asset to this community, but he chooses to just go on manic rants, use Facebook as his soapbox, and just be a clown to this industry.
Absolutely.
So
And I want to
this
make
is in no way driven by Rodney.
yeah.
This is purely my idea taken to Lucas.
I hate that we even have to say that, but I just it surprises and shocks me how many of you guys out there think that I would allow someone to have that much control and manipulation of my mind when I literally am in the psychology field. Like I don't know how people think that Rodney is controlling everything I post, everything I say. And I'll be the first to say that I don't like the way Rodney conducts things. I talk to him about that all the time. And I'll also be the first to say that some of the things he does have to say, I do agree with. But does that mean that
his message is just absolute shit?
Yeah, exactly. But does that mean that I that everything I say and do is because Rodney wants me to? Absolutely.
No.
I heard someone say that today, or texted a friend of mine that they thought this was being orchestrated by Rodney, and I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. So I do have my own mind. I have my own thoughts. I have my own decisions, and yeah, this one is I blame Nathan for this episode. So
yeah, absolutely. I'll take full blame for it.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Whether you're just getting into retics or you've been breeding for years, the first place you want to visit is Stewart Design. More and more breeders keep showing up at shows, on Morph Market, and are all over social media. Sometimes it may feel possible to get anyone's attention. Stewart Designs helps small businesses like yours do big things through brand clarity, helping entrepreneurs to start and scale businesses that are easy to know and love. Their work can help any company or industry, but they've done a ton of work for ours. Stewart Design created the brands for US Arc, Canova, Reach Out Reptiles, Coiled, and dozens of other well-known reptile breeders. Like many of us, the owner of Stewart Design, Blake, is a keeper and breeder who fell in love with retics through first working with Garrett Hartle. Although Stewart Design does a lot of corporate work, Blake has a passion for working with people in the reptile industry. Stewart Design can help if you're just getting started or you're ready to take things to the next level. You're struggling to stand out and build your presence online or at shows. You don't want to be like the other guys or get lost in the crowd, and you want to make your own way doing what you love. And also, you have big ideas and know your business is special, but you need help sharing it with the reptile community. If something here resonates with you, reach out to Blake and have a conversation. To learn more or get started, visit stewartdesignbrands.com or call them at 855-SD-LOGOS. Clear brands own markets. Stewart Design helps create them. If you are in the market for an enclosure for your reticulated python or any other one of your reptiles, Focus Cubed Habitats is your one-stop shop for not only the best-looking cages on the market, but also provide amazing features and add-ons to your cages. We partnered with Focus Cubed Habitats because they continue to innovate and change the way we house our animals unlike any other caging company out there. Their cages are designed intelligently and provide the most stylish and secure housing for your animals' comfort and well-being. Visit focuscubedhabitats.com for your animals' caging needs. Again, visit focuscubedhabitats.com for some amazing and stylish enclosures.
We also want to thank VivTech Products for being an affiliate sponsor of the Retic Lounge. Stop by VivTech Products for the best UV spectrum lighting on the market that will enhance and improve your snake's overall well-being and health. Visit vivtechproducts.com and use the code ReticLounge23 today for 15% off. Again, visit vivtechproducts.com and use our affiliate code ReticLounge23 today for 15% off.
Looking for the perfect accessories for your hatchlings or juvenile retics? Look no further than Heli Guy Serpents. Our sponsor, Chris Sexton, is coming in hot with an amazing 3D printer, creating top-notch perches and other caging accessories for your beloved pets. Enrich your retics environment with their high-quality products. Use our promo code TRL10 for a 10% discount on your purchase. Visit them today at heliguyserpents.com and start giving your pets the best. Heli Guy Serpents, the premier source for 3D printed caging accessories. Again, that's www.heliguyserpents.com and use our promo code TRL10 for 10% off all of your 3D printed accessories today.
Let's.
I want to see how you want to jump into this, because I think we both had a crazy experience kind of leading up to this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, first and foremost, I want to keep this on the topic of the video. Let's talk about who Samson Pruitt is, Slither Exotics, and Nathan, why don't you pull up the website?
Yep, doing that right now.
So while he's doing that, I'll kind of give a little bit of background about everything that transpired a while ago. But
yeah, please.
I was given photos and pictures of Samson Pruitt's facility over a span of, I don't know, I think it was 2018 to 2022-ish, where multiple employees worked there and contributed to over 214 pictures and videos of Samson Pruitt's facility of the most horrendous photos and videos you'll see of any reptiles that you've ever seen. If you can show me a facility in worse than this one, then you guys let me know. But first and foremost, before we jump in, there is a disclaimer on the front of this website, which, by the way, I want to give a shout out to.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I want to give a shout out to Weston at Wildfire Retics. He's the one who composed. He got all the pictures and videos from me and composed this website. And he bought over 20 domains with Samson Pruitt or Slither Exotics. So the easy one is samsonpruitt.com. And it is basically a website that provides you a history of his legal record, which is consistent with multiple felonies, including admitting to dogfighting and animal abuse that he served time for. And so we expose that on this website. And then there are the photos that we're going to briefly go through on this. So just a warning, if you guys are squeamish, if you guys...
I'm having technical difficulties with the website right now.
Okay.
It loaded for a second, and then now it's taking a little while to respond. So
no worries.
Let's just keep going, and once it pulls up, we can work back into that.
Yeah, no, while you get the operating, we'll just switch back over to the screen. And so, so the website has everything basically compiled on there. So I had received the photos and information, and through many failed attempts to try to get law enforcement involved early on, including trying to have USARC help out, we ran into a dead end, and we decided to make these videos and pictures public. And so there has been, there was a lot of good that came from this. Good in the sense of so many people became aware of this. I think it was the first time.
I mean, you could see it all over TikTok, all over YouTube. I mean, anyone who had a reptile podcast was talking about it. I mean, no one had seen this level of incompetence with dealing with animals and just neglect and abuse, the full gambit of what can go wrong to an animal going wrong. Yeah, and making it public was like a last resort that we did, because there's obviously risk with doing that. But I think in large portion, I think the efforts in the moment for 2-3 months were very successful with getting the word out there, people coming together on a front. There was some bullshit and some drama that was going on, and people trying to pin other people and all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, we exposed Samson Pruitt for who he really is, because if any of you do know Samson, you know that he is great at manipulation, great at lying. He's narcissistic in many ways. And just overall not a good human being. And to be honest, people in general are not great, especially to each other. But I don't know, there's something for me, like a big way of how I can judge someone's character is not how you treat other people, but how you treat animals, how you treat something that depends on you for their well-being and living. Has no other choice, because that's all they know. It's how those people treat those animals says a lot about who they are. And if Nathan can get the website up. I'm still trying, so let's just keep talking.
All right.
I don't think it's me at this point, so.
Okay, interesting. Conspiracy. So
Yeah, try it on your end because I don't know if it's just my connection over here. I mean, I seem pretty solid with you.
yeah, I mean, I got it.
You pulled it up?
Yeah, I've never shared on this format before, so we'll see.
I
how
don't
it
know.
goes.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just something with my computer. Not sure.
All right, give me a second. Let me try to
Yeah, I think it's something on my end. I'm running a little slow over here.
guest and media. I'm going to
Uh-oh.
present my screen.
Here we go. All right. Got that back up, so that's nice. So we have some other stuff that we're going to go through, but that's for...
Oh, geez. Did I get it? I got to put in my password and all that crap to give it access on my Mac Mini. Nope, not going to work. I have to quit and reopen it. Let me see if I can. Oh, there we go. Okay. Awesome. Do you
There
see
we
it?
go. Perfect. Yep.
All right, let me just pull this studio out real quick, so I can look at this over here. All right, so again, warning, disclaimer: some of this stuff does not go. It's
Can
just
we
not fun
can we
to look
start at the homepage with the warning? I feel like it's
Yeah.
so we have warning: graphic content not suitable for anyone under the 18 years of age. This site is meant for educational purposes only. Its function is to highlight and wow, my bad, can't talk. Its function is to highlight and can you tell I'm hyped up?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even want to go into this website. This site is meant for educational purposes only. Its function is to highlight the deplorable actions of Samson Pruitt and Cassandra Velez in their reptile breeding business called Slither Inc. or Slither Exotics. Viewer discretion is strongly advised beyond this point.
So, this is an old picture of him back in the 90s.
Yep.
And
it talks about some of his dog fighting cases. It has the court documents in the website, so you can read through all of it.
Yeah, like you can literally go into here. It pulls up everything in here, how he pleads guilty, and is convicted for cruelty to animals, and was found guilty. He actually pleaded guilty, which is interesting because in this famous interview that he does with
Brian
Cusco, he says that he never once, he said he never did that, was never did any cruelty, never abused him, never did any of that, and it was all a misunderstanding just because of the way that people kept dogs back in the day. He convinced people that like everyone kept 100 dogs in cages outside when they were breeding them, but he literally pleaded guilty for animal cruelty,
it's much more
dog
than just
fighting.
keeping them outside.
Yeah.
There were some pretty bad instances of neglect and abuse there too.
So again, I just like viewer discretion is strongly advised here, but I'll go to just the disease one that comes up here, but these are animals that were in the condition. These are like decaying.
I believe there's some context at the top too.
Is there? Oh, there is. Okay. Yeah. So in this photo, you find an example of diseases and common health issues that would run rampant within the Slither Exotics facility. By the way, all this information was copy and pasted by the employees that sent this over to me. So this isn't just like Weston making up this information. These are the employees that are stating this. And so, yeah, I mean, just like, and let me mind you, because I have context from talking to the employees, none of these animals saw a vet. They were all treated in-house. I don't know how that even happens. But I don't think that, like, after this page, I don't think we really need to go any deeper. But
no, I mean, the first link shows animals rotting in their tubs. I mean, emaciated, full on decomposing to the point where most of the spine is showing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's stuff you don't want to see. There's his egg removal, or I believe that's what that picture was. Yeah. So, I mean,
Oh no,
it's
you're
stuff-
talking you're talking about all that blood?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. That was the massive bulge of a neck that he would have himself or employees cut open to drain the pus and blood. Yeah.
Yeah.
These are just dead animals in tubs. I mean, again, I'm gonna hop.
Hundreds.
Yeah, I'm gonna hop back over here, and we are going to just go back to us.
Please.
We're a lot prettier than
Yeah.
those animals.
It doesn't matter how many times I've seen them. It's still hard every time. There's no way to desensitize yourself to that.
Yeah.
If you have any love for these animals, there's just no way to stomach that.
No, and I think what I would like to have a major call for with this episode is it's clear that he is not going to stop doing what he's doing.
And we didn't think he was when we released the first episode.
Yeah, but
we
what
knew this was going to come.
Yeah. But what I'm really hoping for is if we continue to build and put pressure on the community to alienate those who are affiliated or support him in any way, that we can finally get enough people to get out of Samson's corner where he is forced to have to make decisions to get out, or, because my biggest fear, knowing Samson Pruitt and how his mentality functions, it's not going to be long until he's back in that situation again. For those of you that don't know, if you guys think that his facilities like that right now, it's not. So he had just moved to South Carolina when we put this stuff public, and conveniently for him, I'm sure every diseased animal or everything that was dying or already died, he left behind in North Carolina, and he took whatever that was at least probably decent health to South Carolina. And when we released this was like back in May, and he had moved to South Carolina in January of this year in 2023. So, 5 months, in my opinion, is not long enough to get conditions back to where it was.
Mm-mm.
But
with the hatchlings rotting in their tubs, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's room for a lot. I don't think it can get that bad in 5 months. Maybe I could be wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never done that to my animals before. I can't tell you how quick
Yeah.
it takes that to happen. But
I don't know.
So one thing that I want to say, like, in that I fully love this, is before I went public with all this information, I reached out to Reptile Expos. Some of them banned them immediately. And I then reached out to Morph Market. They had just gotten bought by Darian. And Darian took this very seriously. And within like 2 weeks of me sending him the information, he kicked Slither off.
And I mean, he involved us pretty heavy, and that whole situation, seen as we were the ones releasing some of the stuff.
Yeah, and I know I talked to you a little bit, Darian, before we recorded this episode, but I want to just like, Darren, you made a post, and that post that you made, man, I wish we could even pull it up, but it would take probably a while because Darren loves posting. You made a post, and I'm not going to quote it directly, but you said that if you found out that anybody was associated with Samson Pruitt, and that supported him, whether they knew about the conditions or that they currently support him, you would take away their access to Morph Market. And I hope that you still live by that, because he's got to be moving snakes some way, somehow or another. We haven't found out, and I'm not going to stay up late at night trying to figure out, but I do know there is additional information coming up the pipelines about certain people that, Nathan and I aren't at liberty to really talk about, but I'm going to hold you to your word on that, Darian, because I think that that's a big way that we can start to isolate people from supporting him any longer is when we remove their access to be able to move animals and sell animals the best way that is currently available, which is Morph Market. So yeah, but Nathan, I mean, Samson, can you pull up that image that he posted?
Yeah, I got it right here. So this was what sparked me wanting to do this episode tonight. So this was posted, let's see. Oh, I don't have the date on it. But what, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, exactly. So probably just right at the end of November.
Yeah. And
are you able to zoom in on it at all?
Yeah, I'm just situating stuff since I don't have a second monitor.
Gotcha.
Give me just a second.
Yeah. So
Man.
while he's doing that, let me kind of explain. So this is coincidentally, this is a female ternate, right? And we don't know how he got that female ternate, but he somehow got his hands on a female. He didn't. No one was aware if he had I don't think he had a female ternate prior to all this coming out, and so therefore, someone had to send him that animal, but that's a female ternate on eggs. And Nathan, go ahead.
So it's just captioned, "This one is definitely going to ruffle some feathers. Anyone care to guess?" So, a couple little jabs at just I think the reptile industry in general, and then, obviously the controversy and send that animal that was sent over by Reach Out Reptiles to Slither.
Well, yeah, and then also the whole thing happening right now with everyone gets a free ternate that Aubrey's doing, which is I just like to comment on that real quick. Like, I don't think he even realizes how that's going to negatively impact the industry in and of itself. Like, I get that he has a vendetta for Rodney and go to his house and kick his ass, but like you think that giving away free snakes that those people are going to get and produce more free snakes, which is going to crash the market for not only just ternates, but like all the other combos that people are making. Like, you think you're hurting Rodney, but in reality, you're hurting the people that are also making these morph combos with other snakes, and that's going to decrease.
When I see Samson doing stuff like this, my concern more is that he's also just on board with that whole free ternate project.
Right. Like, oh, this is like, look at me. I'm producing ternates now. I'm using ternates, and it didn't look good for Aubrey. But what annoys me is that, like, what's going to happen with this whole free project of, like, Aubrey's making world's first combos of, ternate crosses, and everyone else who has those combos not in ternate, they're going to have to drop their prices. And then what happens when you have mainland size animals at $200? Do those go to good homes, Nathan? Do $200 retics get treated well?
From what I was told, because I need to be transparent here, you guys heard my dislike for Rodney at the start of this episode. I definitely dicked around with the idea of getting a free ternate, and that's that's that little bit of petty in me, right? So when the first female ternate was up for grabs, Aubrey messaged me and tried to get me to take this animal and do a full video unboxing and all of this stuff, and I'm just not getting in the middle of it. And he asked me right after this picture from his brother was released.
Yeah.
And I just flat out told him, like, this doesn't look good. This doesn't look good. So I'm never going to be associated with the ternate project. It's dirtied.
Yeah.
They're beautiful animals, but the people involved with them right now, it's just not a good scene to be in.
Yeah. You want a free ternate? You want to go the dirty route? Go for it. I'm still going to be producing them because they're a top 3 favorite locality for me, but I'm not going to drop my prices. So, you can get a free one, or you can pay the market price for a ternate from me.
Yeah, you can get a free ternate and be associated with names like this, or you can, care about the animal, care about the welfare of the animals in the long term, because I mean, we have people like Samson working with them.
Yeah. So another thing that struck me about this picture, Nathan, is 30 likes.
Okay. Let's get into it.
30 likes. Oh, and look, there's heart emojis on there. Like how have we not spread this awareness enough? Like I don't understand.
Interacting with the post is enough, you know.
Yeah, okay, hear me out. You could say I don't like Samson. You could say he's disgusting for doing what he did. I don't support him. If you follow him and you like a post, you're in my opinion, you are demonstrating support. I for people that I don't like, I don't go and like their images. I don't. People I don't like, I don't follow.
Yeah.
So I don't understand that.
Do you care to provide just a little bit of context before we get into the likes?
Yeah, because some of the people that liked it are significant in this. But one thing that I think that is frustrating on that Nathan and I have experienced is today, Monday, the Monday before this release. So what's the date? December 11th. We posted the thumbnail for this episode, which is called Snake Abuse Amnesia, which again, our plan was to just highlight and go over the Slither files. But we shared
just
it.
Just restoke the fire. I mean, we obviously, momentum's going to die down on any little movement that's out there, no matter how good, how bad. And, when it comes to these people resurfacing, we need to restoke.
Nathan, I lost your audio. You muted yourself. Bad episode to do that, but unless it unplugged, that's still a mute. I'm counting it. One for me. Also, while you do that, I'm going to check my fantasy football score to see if I won. And
oh, that bugs me. I don't know why, but every once in a while, like the
that's
connection
okay.
is weird on the mic.
I won by 0.7 points, if you care to know. All right.
Man, I totally lost my spot too.
No, we were talking about the purpose of this episode originally was to kind of just restoke the fire, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, we need you guys to be able to share this and talk about this more, because it can't just be us that cares about this. I mean, I've had an outpouring of support in terms of the censorship that happened today. So that's clear that people care. People care about this situation. People care about these animals ultimately. And I'm calling you out. If you care about these animals, you love these animals, you need to be sharing this content.
Yeah. So to give you more context as to why Nathan is saying that we got censored, we posted this thumbnail, Snake Abuse Amnesia, with the intention of just going over the Samson Pruitt stuff and Slither Exotics. And in the Retic Pursuit group that is owned by DNT Retics, who I don't know what to say. I was or I am. I don't know, but I'm good friends with Dax and Tay. I've seen them at every local show. I was too. I see them at every local show. I hang out in their booth. I sit with them, and I know that he's close with Aubrey, and I know Aubrey doesn't like me because I associate with Rodney, and whatever the case may be, right? But me and Dax have always been able to keep our shit separate, and we're diehard Yankee fans. But he messaged me and Nathan today, saying that he's banning us from his Retic Pursuit group because this topic doesn't need to be.
No, I want to read that verbatim. Okay. I shared it on my story because, I just, the way and the reasoning behind all of this censorship, I think was just
it didn't make sense.
It's a huge overstep, of our friendship, of the situation. We posted a thumbnail.
And I mean,
advertising our podcast.
At the end of the day, it's his group, and he can ban us for whatever he wants. But I feel
or he can just take down content,
right? But I feel like to choose this as the reason to ban
Yeah.
us.
So the message says, "Hey, buddy, I'm sorry, but I'm banning you and Lucas. And the only reason why is because I think it's bullshit that another podcast about the same shit over and over. I'm sick of it. Focus on other people. There's so many others, I'm sure. And I'm doing this as a man. Not going to blast you guys. Not going to do dumb shit. That's not me."
Sorry to blast you. Love you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Dax, but like I don't see your reasoning here.
I don't either.
The only reasoning he could give me is that he hates Bob Clark and he doesn't get any support in hating Bob Clark.
Can I ask you a question, Nathan?
Yeah.
Does Bob Clark have 300 pictures and videos, or I'm sorry,
I asked
214
the
pictures
same,
and videos?
I asked the same thing of Dax, and
abuse?
he had no response for me. He had
like
no decent response for me.
You know, we can say that Bob Clark's a piece of shit. We can get angry at him because there's Aztecs in this country.
I'm sorry,
but
Dax, but reality is, in the end of the day, if Bob Clark weren't in this industry, you wouldn't be in this industry. I wouldn't have any of the retics I have behind me. Lucas wouldn't have his garage full of retics behind him. They're like, I get that there's issues with Bob, and I'm not in any way saying that I support Bob, but he does not have a facility where animals are dying off left and right. There's pictures of just...
If there was this proof about Bob, I'd be happy to do it.
That's what
happy to.
And that's what I want to hit on, the why not focus on others, because I haven't seen any other person in this retic industry with pictures even close to the conditions I've seen there.
Yeah. But what frustrates me about this, because it came out of left field and out of nowhere. And listen, what we're about to talk about isn't like a fact, but I'm just trying to put 2 and 2 together here and trying to like do some simple, like, why would Dax ruin a friendship and go this route? And I don't think that it's the reason why he said, because we're beating it like a dead horse, because I don't think that there's any such thing as beating a topic like this with a dead horse when someone is actively and has historically been the worst animal abuser that any of us are probably familiar with. And here's the thing that bothers me is that D&T Retics has that group, the Retic Pursuit, and one of the admins on there is Amanda Bow, who is part of In Your Face Exotics, who is who's married to Gavin Bow. And if those of you that don't know Gavin Bow is one of the people who like stuck up for Samson Pruitt and thought that all of this crap was fake and you know, said all these great things about Samson when this stuff was first released. And go to the next picture, Nathan.
Correct me if I'm wrong too on this. And you didn't catch me muted there, so that doesn't count. Correct me if I'm wrong on this, but Gavin was one of the founders, creators of the Retic Lounge, and part of his reasoning...
Hold on, the Retic Lounge?
Sorry.
Chill.
Oh, my. The Retic Nation. My bad.
Yeah, he was a long-standing admin for a very, very, very long time, and because of his affiliation and how he outwardly spoke for Samson, I'm pretty sure that was one of the reasons why the Retic Nation removed him as an admin. And so if Nathan would go to the next photo.
Well, I was trying to see, like, so
if you could see
wasn't Gavin saying, you know, when this all first surfaced, his support in Samson was like, oh, well, I've had good experiences with him. I've known him for years, and
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, like he was in denial of the situation, and he spoke highly about him, and oh, this isn't the Samson that I know, and all that stuff, instead of like just looking at it for what it was. But under this picture of Samson Pruitt posting this a few weeks ago,
he was the second person
person that liked the photo. And again, my opinion is, if you are going to like someone's content, it's because you are, that is a method of support.
It's part of the algorithm. You know, the more you like and interact with a post, the more it gets seen.
So I don't know. Was this, I mean, like, does this not want to be shared on the Retic Pursuit because Amanda and Gavin Bow are supporters of Samson Pruitt, and clearly we're supporting him 3 weeks ago, and it just doesn't reflect good on the group if we're talking about this? Like, I want that question answered. I know what their response would be, and clearly it's no. They're just, I guess, tired of seeing the garbage. But I don't think
so
this is garbage.
that's the other thing I want to address. He calls it BS, drama, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of drama in this retic industry, especially on Facebook. Facebook is it's a cesspool. This is not drama in any sense of the word. This is just outright animal abuse. Nothing more to it.
Yeah. I mean, and animal abuse is a really nice way to put it.
Yeah.
Like that's the simplest, nicest way to put what Samson did to those animals, and to censor us trying to just spread awareness again of this in and of itself. Even if my conspiracy theory of trying to protect his friends and the admins of his group, even if that's a conspiracy and that's completely false, why would you censor that? Like Dax and Tay, I want
and going as far as to remove us from the page entirely.
Exactly.
We've never had negative interactions on there. We've always been in good standings with Dax. We always are friendly with him at shows. We talk with him at shows. It's just very strange.
We were just talking about
my last message from him on Messenger before all this was him wishing me a Merry Christmas last year.
Yeah, and I mean, I talked to him maybe a month ago, talking about the season tickets that he was, or
we saw him 2 months ago.
We were going to try to go to a Yankee game together.
Yeah.
So I don't get it. So it's frustrating because
beyond.
You lose a good friendship, and I don't know, I don't hold grudges, right? I've had issues with other people in the retic industry, and we've talked it through, and we're good. And I don't hold grudges, so I'm not like,
in my messages with him, I told you love you, man, but this is just beyond far
left field. It came out of nowhere. So it's frustrating, and I don't want to just focus on them, the rest, but the main thing about focusing that I wanted to with this point was censorship. Is I don't think that this is something that and you guys drop in the comments, like, interact with us. Should we not bring this up anymore? Is this something that is deserved to be censored? Should people I mean,
should we mention at all just the reaction change? If that like it matters, but
I don't know. I mean,
so just I'll cover it super quick, because I guess it could change interpretation. But immediately after Gavin was called out for supporting this post.
Yeah, he was called out. So he was called out on a post for liking Samson Pruitt's post.
He just saying, look who's still supporting Samson or whatever. And then he made a joke of it, saying, LOL, I just changed it to a wow emoji. And
so if you go
that
to
makes it better.
Yeah, if you go to that post now, you'll see his reaction, not a thumbs up, not a like, but now a wow. So he changed it after he got a bunch of crap. It was heated. And so, we're going to share the full story with that here, so that you guys don't think we're hiding any part of it, in case you guys try to go look at it and you see that it's a wow reaction. But nonetheless, the fact that anybody is even still following the freaking guy after knowing what he did, is unless you have motive to keep tabs, right? I wish I could, but he's got me blocked. It took him a while to block me, but he finally blocked me. You guys let us know, is censorship appropriate in this type of conversation? Is this wrong of us to want to
beyond censorship? Was it ban worthy?
Yeah, or ban worthy, right? I mean, but then we're getting into that's our feelings, and that's our relationship.
I'm not too hurt by not being in the retic pursuit. Like I said, I don't hold much value in those retic Facebook communities, but it's
what group rule did we break?
Yeah, usually when I see people get banned from anywhere, there's some reasoning behind it.
I know he's very big about drama, and the group is a no drama group. But
sure.
But again, we're not doing. we originally weren't doing this episode to stir up drama. Now I know
No, it's just to restoke the fire about an animal abuser.
what
No drama.
what we're talking about now, for some people that love cancel culture, this might be drama, and hopefully, honestly, Nathan, if you and I ever got to a point where we got canceled, that would be such an honor. Like I would wear that, and I would still breed more and better and legit beer localities
we'd
than
have
most
to
of you.
do something to get truly canceled. Say something, do something to our animals, and I just don't see that
Well, yeah,
really
if-
happening with our values.
Yeah, if Samson hasn't gotten canceled because he still has supporters for that, clearly it's impossible to get canceled in the retic industry.
Yeah.
But I want to wrap this up with kind of talking about like what lies at the core of something like that, that Samson did. And that is basically being way too in over your head. And I don't want to say, like, I don't know if I mean this, what I'm about to say, but I feel like what happened to Samson with those animals can happen to many, many people if you don't have the ability to restrain and stop growing when you no longer have the capacity to care for animals. But at the end of the day, the result of what happened there was a lack of employees, or not a lack of employees, was not having enough employees per animal because you're not selling enough. You don't have the overhead, or you don't have the money to cover your overhead, and your animals ultimately pay the price. And hopefully more people have the ability to recognize that sooner than later. Obviously with Samson, it just was not even on his freaking radar. But, for those of you that are growing collections very fast, I did that, right? And now I'm scaling back because I hit a point where I was like, this is a lot to care for. I feel like I could be a lot less stressed. And if I move some animals out, so I moved, some ready to breed, proven breeders. Like I moved animals out to make it easier on myself and better for my animals. And I'm not saying that anybody who falls in the position where you end up getting behind and there's poop that's left in enclosures for 3 days, or you can't change waters, more than just like once a week. I'm not saying you're a terrible person, but maybe we should like stop and think, is this too much? And maybe do the right thing by the animals and try to move some of these animals out, so that your snakes can get fresh water 3 times a week, so that they don't have to sit in their piss and shit for more than a day or 2.
Yeah, unless you have that random vacation you go on, you
Right.
don't have to worry about them, being in fill.
Yeah, it's those conditions are inexcusable.
Mm-hmm.
But I could also see how it could be a slippery slope that happens very quick. And so just like as a forewarning, like,
And this is the gotta catch 'em all industry, and
it is.
people
Gotta catch them all, gotta make them all, gotta make the first, gotta be the best.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what reptile it is, but once you get hooked by them, you want more and you want more. And some people are decent at holding themselves back. Me, Lucas, not so much.
Yep.
And even with my small collection, when you have 6 retics and then 20 hatchlings, you realize how fast that can become unmanageable. Your workload, doubles overnight when you start having babies. And
yeah, that was it for me. That was like, I had all of my like subadults and adults, and I had those. It was when I started breeding and had 2 or 3 clutches on top of those animals, I was like, whoa, this is way too much. So I moved out about 10 animals.
yeah, and until you could have, an employee helping you, pretty consistently,
Right.
it's not a real feasible thing to keep growing and keep growing.
Like I have a helper, I pay him, right? But like I even with me and him, like it was just it was a lot. And even though I had someone who I'm paying for help, it was like it's not fair to that's one thing that I've always thought as well. Like with Sean, when he comes over and I have like Aspen and my wife's not home to watch Aspen, and he's just there cleaning and I come in and out of the garage, like any of the big snakes that have like massive like shits or things like that, like I will do. Like I do because I feel guilty to like have him do the big stuff, the hard stuff, right? Like so
you should never put yourself above doing your snake maintenance.
Yeah,
Even if you have a
ever.
big facility, I don't care. You should still be taking care of those snakes on every little husbandry level that you can.
I mean, it's my opinion. I know a lot of people don't agree with this, but yeah, if you're an owner, even if you are paying employees, you should still be getting your hands dirty. You should be cleaning those animals. You should be doing your own pairings. You should be the one who understands and knows when they last
Quality control is your job.
Exactly. So just let's be more responsible as a Retic community, please. And let's not let that type of conditions ever happen to another facility again.
And make sure that when we see anyone supporting Samson, when we see Samson posting about his snakes, that we start talking again.
Yeah. There's no reason why this conversation should not be okay. This conversation should always be okay, because if history repeats itself if you let it die. Snake abuse amnesia. Everyone just kind of stopped talking about it and forgot about it. And then
in a matter of 5 months.
5 months. And then he just started posting again, and there his likes go, there the support comes. And then as soon as we try to bring it out, we're getting censored by people. And it's like, why? This should be an example that is always remembered.
Yeah, we need the community to show that this is not a subject
it's
to
not
take
negotiable.
lightly.
It's not negotiable.
And if it needs to be talked about, it gets to be talked about.
Yeah. It's a non-negotiable topic that Samson Pruitt should always be the example of, and should always be looked at in a disgusting manner, because that's exactly what that is. When you have hundreds upon hundreds of snakes, not just dying, but decaying and full of infection and disease, and you don't take any of them to a vet, and people are still supplying you with your pigs, that same supplier that is still supplying you with those pigs, that is working with notable breeders now. There are so many people that are still supporting Samson, whether it's with a like, whether it's with his food, whether it's with a sale, and what it almost seems like the community is just like, well, it is what it is. And it's like, no, it is what it is only if you allow it to be that way.
Yeah. Every single one of you has a voice on your social media page.
Yeah.
You don't need a podcast like Lucas and I.
Yeah. Our phenomenal, amazing, Retic podcast. But yeah, so Nathan and I aren't going to let it scoop by. So if you guys want to continue to censor us, go for it. You guys want to try to cancel us, and you guys want to try to say that Rodney has infiltrated our brains, or we're the devil, go for it. I don't care. I'll always 100%. Talk about this.
The only reason I'm still in Retics is because I love Retics. I cannot stand the people.
Whoa, these are our listeners.
No, the people being some of the players in the industry.
Yeah,
the stuff that they allow, it's amazing to me. I love these animals, and if you're gonna censor me for sticking up for these animals in the end of the day and sticking up for the welfare of any living animal, I'm confused. I'm lost.
Hey, I've been welcome with open arms in the Green Tree Python community. If you ever want to hop over.
Like I told Lucas earlier, I'm never gonna not have retics.
Yeah,
like
same.
that's
Same.
always gonna be a thing. Man, the Green Tree Monitor community's looking nice.
Right.
Man.
And you know what? I can deal with some of the bicker and stuff on Facebook and things like that, but it's like when stuff like this starts to happen, and then we start to see the moving pieces on who's in whose corner, and the people that support others that really just are not good examples of what we try to preach here on the Retic Lounge. It becomes disappointing and defeating sometimes. It's an uphill battle that sometimes feels like you're never going to help try to improve the Retic. We threw ourselves out there, having a podcast at the time for less than a year, talking about the Samson thing, exposing ourselves, knowing that it could have been our downfall. And you want to know what's funny is one of the people who sells pigs to Samson, Don Munson, and I'll throw out his name because he has like messaged me and berated me, and he told me not to do this. He told me to not do this, and not to be associated with certain people, and to do this, and it's all about little clicks in the retic industry, and it's so disgusting. It's like everyone is just trying to have each other's back in a small circle, despite the bad that they do, and that's not how I want the retic industry to be. I just want us to be good retic keepers and responsible.
No, anything that I've done with my animals that I question, I know Lucas would call me out on.
Yeah.
I know Lucas is going to be that objective person. He's not just going to have my back regardless.
I mean, we do it all the time when we talk about doing episodes.
Yeah. Yes. It's not healthy to support someone with absolutely no conditions.
Yeah. But
when it comes to welfare of animals, there's absolutely conditions, and yeah, I'm at a loss for words. Yeah.
I'm hoping that we get some response for some of the names that we dropped, and we can get some explanations and get a conversation going and try to come to an understanding of motives and what's happening. But one thing that we know for sure is we, as the Retic Lounge, aren't going to put the Samson Pruitt shit to rest just because people want to call this drama, or people want to just, he's never going to change.
It won't be effective,
right?
He won't change, or there'll always be minions.
Because you want to know what?
Let people know about them. We're not letting this slide.
You want to know what? The way that we know 100% for a fact that it won't change if no one does anything about it. At least we're giving us a small little opportunity that maybe 5 new people hear about this that recently discovered him and are talking to him right now, and decide to go to that website and decide to no longer associate with him anymore. And if that can spread to 20 people, 30, 40, 50 people in just 1 year continuously,
that's a win in my book.
That's better than sitting down and doing nothing and letting Samson get back to where he was 4 years ago in like 2 more years. Like, I'm not doing that. The guy has screwed so many people over, and he has killed so many innocent snakes because of his selfishness and self-righteousness that it's not sliding. But we could probably bicker and rant and bitch about this for another 30 minutes. So how do you feel about closing it?
Guys, like I said in the middle of the episode, we need you to use your voice. We need you to share this episode. We need you to talk about this on your own platforms in your own way, and get other people's, stances on, allowing him to continue breeding in this industry. It needs to be talked about. So please, if you love these animals, you love retics, or animals in general, it doesn't even have to be retics. Go look at the pictures. You'll find something you love in there that's dead, dying, or on its way. So if you love animals and that's why you're in this, talk about it.
Yeah, I have always said this to other people when I talk about it, is in a year from now, and 2 years from now, and 3 years from now, what side of history are you going to be on when it comes to this Samson Pruitt and this animal abuse? And that's a decision that you have to make. Are you going to be on the, complacent, quiet, not say anything side, or are you going to try to be an advocate for these animals and try to improve the industry? Yeah, the choice is yours. You get to choose which one you want to do. So
silence is enabling.
Yeah. Silence is a choice. Just because you're not doing anything doesn't mean you're not acting. You're acting with silence. So appreciate all of you for tuning in and listening, and hopefully you guys made it up until this point at the end. But again, we come out with a new episode every Friday, and next week is definitely going to be a lot more uplifted and more Retic Lounge type of episode, where we talk about the good that's happening, and our love and passion for these animals. But we appreciate all of you for supporting us thus far. We are, again, almost at 1K subs, so go ahead and subscribe if you are not, if you're listening to this, and we will catch you next week on our episode, and when this episode drops to our Patreon member, we will see you on our Zoom call. Take care, everyone.
See ya.